really kind of windy, and I thought that'd be cruel to sit there and try to talk over the wind and have the wind roaring in your ears. So I know I didn't title this anything because, well, I'm not really sure what to title it. But I will say that what got me on here today was thinking about a conversation I had last week, and I was asked about my thoughts on raindrop therapy. So here's the deal. I wasn't entirely honest with this person. So if she's watching this, if you're watching this, please understand that, please forgive me. And the reason I say, and it wasn't like I have bad thoughts, okay? It's not that I have bad thoughts. I just wasn't entirely, I wasn't entirely honest about it, because I find that people get easily offended if I speak out against another company or I counter another treatment protocol, if that makes sense. So raindrop therapy, if you're not familiar with it, is a technique that was developed by Gary Young of Young Living, and it involves an extraordinary amount of oil, different types of, there's a lot of single notes. Forgive me because I don't know all, I can't think of them all off the top of my head. I've actually consulted with a couple of my Amish clients around this because they like to practice the raindrop therapy. So I want to say it's something like 7 single notes and a couple of blends. And so not that there's anything wrong with the oils, okay? That's not what this is about. This is what I'm wanting to suggest here, is that the way I practice aromatherapy, and so for those of you that are not familiar with me, my name is Tammy, and I've been practicing aromatherapy since 1990. I've been studying plant constituents, and I've just been working with oils for that long and have developed my own methodology, which is the reason why, if you see my profile, it says revolutionary aromatherapy. At one point, and I still do, we'll talk about the science of it, simply because we have medications. We have the medications because they've been studying the plants, so there's some things to think about there. And that's when I was consulting with the Amish people about, or that is what I was consulting with the Amish people about, because they have no hesitation in putting their teenagers and young adults into treatment and placing them on some very significantly strong psychotropic medications. And they'll practice this technique a couple of days a week. That's a lot of oils, number one, at one time. Number two, some of those oils don't work with medications. However, there's a part of me that doesn't, although I'm very confident in the science, there's still a part of me that I feel like that is just a false, it's a mask that I wear to be heard, maybe, to stand out. And yet when I look at the way I practice, and I had 4 different conversations right before the weekend, which, by the way, I hope you had a good Easter. But I had 4 conversations with 4 great women, and the one thing I love doing is formulating, personalizing the formulas for people, not necessarily selling you the oils, but at least creating the formula and then helping you, guiding you on what to do with it. And yet, although I talk about science a lot, it's not all science in that sense. It's very intuitive. So I hear what's going on with people. I then make the oil suggestions based on what comes to me. And there's a holistic concept to it, because I work with various systems, not just a particular symptom. So there's a lot that gets into it, like I said, but it is very intuitively based. And that is really the crux of revolutionary aromatherapy. Now, that said, I I'm launching, currently seeking a couple of things here. People. I'm seeking people. So here's the deal. I am launching a podcast, and the podcast is going to be titled You Can't Divorce Your Vagina. I got a coaching group with the same title, but this is a title that I've come up with because I've got the programs. I'm writing a book on it. It does involve transmuting self-hatred, self-deprecation into self-love, which is a unique path for each one of us. And then I also guide you on oils. Why does this thing keep fading on me? So I guide on oils. And that said, as I mentioned, I am seeking people to interview for this podcast. It doesn't cost you anything to, we do a Zoom chat. I would record the audio and then stream the audio. And I want to be doing one of these a week. But I'm happy to do more than, I will launch one a week, or I should say upload one a week, but I would like to start really getting a portfolio of interviews together. At the same time, I've been doing Making Sense of Sense on Facebook, and as you can see, the wind is, I would like to do interviews there, do them live. Stream them live for half an hour, just do some intuitive guidance, if you will, on oils and what have you. So if you are game for that, please message me, because again, it doesn't cost you to do anything to participate. It's just you will benefit because you get specific guidance for yourself, and then on top of that, you will be giving other people the incentive to be, to consider doing this for themselves, and possibly even wanting to do the interviews as well. So I'm really very excited about this. I came up with this whole thing. It's like I was praying and praying and praying to God to please. I've been hearing now for months that I really need to, distill my focus to have, and this was it. It was based on those 4 conversations that I had. And I've been praying to God to please bring me some clarity. Please give me some clarity. And as it goes, the middle of the night is always when my mind just is empty and stuff comes in. And this was it. So you cannot divorce your vagina is not just for women. It's just it's a play on words. If you can figure out, awesome. Anyway, one more time, I am really seeking people to interview for podcasts to be streaming. And, again, we'll do a Zoom talk. I'll capture the audio and then launch it as a podcast. But I'd also like to go live once a week on Wednesdays. If you don't want to do live, or you're unavailable to do live, or, however it works. But I'd like to go into the group and the page, Revolutionary Aromatherapy, and really begin to show people how it works to spontaneously formulate, and the thing is like, this isn't a once and done thing, because feedback for how things go, follow up, real-time guidance, it's all part of it. Anyway, you're invited, so come and join me. And that is the reason why raindrop therapy cannot be practiced as it's. And so this is really what it comes down to. So the reason why raindrop therapy is not a one-size-fits-all, although it was developed with best of intentions, and I'm sure people get really great results out of using the standard recommendations. But I recommend, if you like the idea, the concept of raindrop therapy, which is a really dynamic practice, begin to more intuitively select oils based on the individual. Individualize your treatment. I know, so Young has that one. I forget the one that doTERRA has. And so all I'm suggesting is, if you can, begin to use oils in a way that makes sense with the person you're working with, as opposed to something out of a book. you know, not all medications are cut out for it. It's just not a one size fits all kind of thing. So, and that goes for pre-made blends as well. So the thing is that I'm ushering in the personalization of essential oils. So when I was asked the other day what I thought about the raindrop therapy, as I said, I wasn't honest about it. I do like it as a way of, I think it's very beneficial to those who go through it in some way. I know some people have, you know, I do believe in the concept. I just feel like, and keep in mind, it was developed years ago, and many things have changed, and I am a advocate for personalizing our use of oils. And so that said, it's quite possible that some of the oils in raindrop therapy would be good when mixed with something else. Okay, so just begin to consider a more personalized approach no matter what you're working with. All right, you guys take care. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you soon.